When we threw the dart at the map and committed to go, wherever it would land, we didn't expect it would hit one of the most remote islands in the world, Rapa Nui, aka Easter Island, aka Isla de Pascua. Join us as we explore one of the most intense cultures in humankind and get educated on some of Easter Island's long-drawn history. My name is Sorin. I throw darts at the world map and travel wherever they land, no matter how far or difficult it is. Besides traveling with me, I invite you to do whatever you love before it's too late and live a life with no regrets. My passion is travel by dart. We threw a dart at the world map and it landed on what we thought was just the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But after taking a closer look, we actually landed on the remote island of Rapa Nui, located at the southeasternmost tip of the Polynesian Triangle. So, what is Easter Island? Well, roughly around 700 to 1100 CE, the first Polynesians arrived here, on Anakena Beach, by canoe. The island is known by the natives as Rapa Nui, but that's not the name that the most remember it by. So let's fast forward real quickly to the year 1722, when Jacob Roggeveen, a Dutch settler, set out to discover Davis Island. Instead, he discovered Rapa Nui on April 5th, an Easter Sunday, and rechristened it Easter Island to his European liking. Fast forward just about 300 years and we arrive to Easter Island. We're here.
We made it.
We made it. I'm already happy.
You fly into Easter Island. If you got a window seat, you're lucky enough to experience, just the majestic beauty of the island. When you're flying in, you've been looking at water for 4 hours. All of a sudden, in the middle of nowhere, this huge grassy rock cliffs going into this crystal clear, pristine blue, majestic kind of. I can't even explain it. The vibe is unreal.
As we're landing, I see the airport, which doesn't look at all like an airport. It is a combination of a few cabana-looking like buildings, very tropical aspect.
Halfway across the world, 20 hours of travel, we get here. We're trying to, go and meet all the local people and establish the story.
A lot of people said, if you're in Rapa Nui, 3 days would be enough for you to actually see pretty much everything. We put together a list today of things we want to do, and 8 days is not nearly close enough. However, what you're about to see was not easy to film for many reasons. As you'll watch our incredible Rapa Nui adventure, we will reveal the mystery of the famous Moai statues and what's underneath, dive to the bottom of the ocean, make fools of ourselves, meet some of the most picturesque people in the world, and get deep into the roots of this fascinating Easter Island culture, but also its problems.
Cocaine.
And here it is.
When we go somewhere, we have the energy to absorb and to look and put the lens on that actually is cultural and profound and educational.
We're always looking for the local flavor, and we're living in a house here owned by an authentic Rapa Nui woman, Mama Carolina, whose family has been living here for generations. We specifically picked this house because it gives us that inspiration. We wake up and we see all these beautiful Polynesian stuff around. I'm already in the Polynesian mindset. I'm waking up in a hotel, I have to start my engine. It's hard. Pick a place like this, boom, you're done.
So we exited the airport and first thing we did was get greeted by a young guy by the name of Tavi. And he's 23 years old, he's like 6'6", just a big beast, Rapa Nui of a kid. When we arrived to the house, we were greeted by Mama Carolina and Hanana.
Hi. Yorana. Hey. Oh my.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
And let me introduce myself. I am Tavi. Let me introduce to Hanana and Carolina. So he must be Matthew and Sorin.
How do I say my name is Matt in Rapa Nui?
Tu nombre en Rapa Nui se dice To'oku,
To'oku?
Ingoa,
Ingoa?
Ko Mat.
Toki Nuinga?
Toku.
Toku,
Ingoa.
Inoa,
Ko.
Ko,
Matt.
Toku, Inoa, Matt.
Toko inoa con sorry.
He's the language guy. Okay.
We just settled
That's it, man.
in Rapa Nui. This is phenomenal. Everything looks so organic, so normal, so friendly. Everybody's waving at us. I feel like I'm home.
Really? No, they're so welcoming, and you show up, there's like a pile of 100 coconuts sitting right there.
If you two are speaking Rapa Nui, can a Chilean from the mainland understand?
No.
No?
Every places speak the same language. The thing is that then Westerns arrive and then they adapted a new language.
So if the Dutch first arrived here, why did Spanish become a sort of primary language for the Rapa Nui people? The answer? Dwindling populations and colonization. In the early days of Easter Island, there were tales of cannibalism and civil war, but most of the cultural loss can be attributed to the unsustainable practices, diseases, overpopulation, and raids.
By the time the 1860s rolled around, the Peruvian slave raids occurred, dropping the population down to 2,000 to 3,000 people from a century earlier. Jump to 1877, and the native population was only an astounding 111 people. Finally, the remote Easter Island was annexed by the Chilean government in 1888. Meanwhile, at the house, what was about to happen took us by surprise. We got to know each other a little bit. Tavi was translating everything we needed to know.
Hanana and Mama Carolina, and these are two ladies that are local tribal women, Rapa Nui, authentic, generations and generations deep, and have connections with everyone on the island.
All of a sudden, the ladies said, "You know what, guys? We also have a surprise for you. Tonight, we're gonna call our relatives, and we're gonna throw a party for it."
We're gonna also trying to show you the local cuisine, how we cook on the island, and the idea is to cook local stuff. I mean, local fish in this case.
We're gonna have a party tonight for us, and we don't know what's gonna happen, but we've been told a few secrets will come out. So.
Yeah, so let's go explore, man.
What kind of secrets will come out? You're just about to find out.
Travel by our cribs. Welcome to our house.
Sometimes the key works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, it did this time. Come on in. Oh, the smell is...
Smells phenomenal. AKA not so phenomenal.
So this is where we live. 5-star hotel in Rapa Nui. Just gonna turn the lights on, and this is our kitchen with homegrown bananas, like the real deal. Tiny but forte.
Hey, we're filming. Come. So this is our house.
This is banana.
Hey, banana. Banana.
This 2 hour.
All right, so this is our first evening in Rapa Nui. It's raining like hell here, but we're gonna have a great time.
It's our new familia. We're excited. We were eating fish. Actually, come check it out. Check the fish.
A fish called pisi. They say that here all the fish it's called fish, really. So they don't have specific names for every single one. That's pisi. That's chicken?
Yeah, big old
Holy, the biggest chicken I've ever seen.
Super chicken.
They served us pollo, pescado, and carne. These are 3 staple foods of the island and considered to be some of the best foods to serve guests of high stature.
However, they kept referencing another some sort of event later that we could not escape. And I even remembered Tavi early in the day telling us about.
There is a more surprise that we're gonna left it for tonight.
So over the course of the night, we got to exchange stories, learn about the family, a little bit more about their culture.
We're on one of the most remote islands in the world with people we don't know. It's 2 a.m, raining like crazy. I don't understand half of the things they're saying. However, they told us secret will come out and kept mentioning that they will do something to us. What can go wrong in a tiny, tiny village at the end of the world? Well, at 3 a.m. on Easter Island, it's the time when you go to a nightclub.
They said we stay out really late. The party doesn't start until 3 a.m. I said, what? We ended up going out there and they were right. Literally, the party started at 3 a.m. From about 1 to 3, there was nobody there. As soon as 3 a.m. hit, like the whole island showed up. It was amazing. So day 2, we wake up about 1 p.m. after a long night of dancing haka and salsa. And we said, you know what? It's time to get to work.
24 hours in and we already have a kind of bunch of things that we want to do and go to. There's a factory that where they used to make the moais, so I want to go there.
Yeah, it's crazy. The big rock quarry. I've been hearing from the locals about the caves, and there's some secret underground caves that you can only get to from like 100% Rapa Nui local front yards. And I guess they I don't know how they do it, open up the grass or something, and you go down underneath the house into the caves, and like no tourists get to go there. You can't even buy film permit or anything. You actually have to know somebody.
This is Mario, a local who's been on the island for his entire life.
Well, since September of 2016, the park has been in the transition to the Rapa Nui people, because before that, it was run by the Chilean Agency of National Parks but for 45 years. And just 6 months ago, it was recovered by the Rapa Nui after a struggle of 30 years.
Did you guys fight for it, or they said, okay, let's give it to you?
30 years of fighting.
That, my friends, is a Moai statue. Way out in the middle of nowhere where there's no park rangers.
Any funds from the tourism industry, namely these Moai statues, would go straight to the government of Chile, robbing the locals of potential resources to keep the island sustainable and to improve infrastructure. Preserving these ancient statues then is a tall task. So as a solution, the government imposed hefty fine for defacing statues, touching statues, roaming off the trails, or even taking flash photos of the monuments.
It's what they called cumulative impact. If visitors time and time again deface or manipulate these statues in any way, over time the damage from each tourist will shorten the lives of these ancient rocks. Now let's ride over to Rano Roraku, the Moai quarry.
You will most likely be shocked when you'll find out the mystery of these Easter Island statues.
The inspiration is
To see what he's talking about in the next Travel by Dart episode and to follow my adventures around the world, you can click the subscribe button or, well, that logo on the screen. Oh, and by the way, to be notified when a new episode comes out, click also the bell icon. Last but not least, don't be shy to leave a comment below and let me know what you think.